Hi, welcome to Clinical Yoga. This practice is called the Craig. It's concentrating on making sure that every day we get a little bit of what we call back extension. In other words, bending the spine a little bit the opposite way than we spend most of our life in flexion. So I'm not going to do up dog, I'm just going to do cobra, and it's just becoming aware of that ability to arch the back a little bit that we sometimes sitting in chairs and life being in front of us, the spine, that movement becomes rather neglected. So doing it in a safe way on the tummy rather than leaning back in standing. So, and the usual yoga practice. Okay, so if you need to sit on a block so that your spine can be lovely and straight, that's great. It's harder work without, so working on that is great. Let's turn up the palms, close the eyes, and bring the attention inside, being aware of your breathing, being aware of yourself sitting on the mat. So that you can pay attention to what you're feeling in the body, your interoception, your inner sense. Feeling very long in the spine, and if you draw back the chin, you get that extra length in the spine. So the rib cage is lifted out of the belly. And then let's open the eyes, turn the palms out, and take a big inhale. Take the arms overhead. And again, just feeling that length in the spine, holding for a moment, and then taking the right fingertips down and reaching long out to the left waist. And to the other side, fingertips down, lift high, reach high. And then fingertips behind you now. Inhale, lift that rib cage, arch the back. Using the muscles deep down in the lower spine and right up into the upper back. The only bit you're not going to include is your neck, not at the moment. And then taking the left hand on the right knee. Draw your right shoulder back, feel the belly draw back. And to the other side, fingertips behind, fingertips down, shoulder back. And then release, and let's come onto the hands and knees. Leaning back slightly, open the fingers, spread them out on the mat. Round up the back, head down, shins push into the mat. Inhale, look forward, drop the back down. Now you're going to lift the chin, stretch under the chin. And as you drop the back down, you draw up the belly. And then you round again, pushing the mat away. And then inhale one more time. Lifting the chin, stretching under the chin. And then easing the hips back to take a child's pose. Reach the fingertips away, let the head come down. Huge, big, long breaths into the belly. And then coming forward. Take the head slightly beyond the hands, tuck the toes under, find your plank. So lovely and steady there. Again, drawing back the chin. Elbows are bouncy, soft. Let's drop the knees slightly towards the mat. Push hard into the hands and going into your downward dog. And let's tiptoe forward maybe an inch or two. And a deep push back. So if you need to bend your knees, the most important thing is that the back's lovely and long and straight. And you can maybe drive the heels down. Getting a stretch in the calves, but then bending the knees a bit and lifting your sit bones high in the air, maybe lift the heels and push back. So the stretch is now above the knee, hopefully. So you've lifted the heels and push back. So let's start to tiptoe forwards. Lift the chest, lay the belly down the thighs, hold the elbows, let the head hang. And then keeping the chin down, let's roll up. Great. Turning the palms out, weight into the heels. Inhale. Maybe palms touch. Soft knees, keep the chest high. You're trying to bend at the hip and then round all the way down. Then the fingertips pull back. Half lift, flatten the back. Doesn't matter how bent the knees are. You might be in a little squat here. Then hands down. Step into plank. Bend the elbows, chest slightly ahead of the hips as you lower to the mat. Chest, pelvis, thighs, point the toes. Don't push up with the arms. Feel the elbows drawing back and the chest lifts. You're using the muscles in the back to arch the spine, but you're not straightening the arms to create the arch. You're using the back muscles and guiding with the arms. Then push hard, tuck the toes under and find your downward dog. Long, slow breaths. So again, it doesn't matter about the knees being bent here. If you want to lift the heels, you'll put the stretch higher up the leg. If you want to drop the heels, you'll get it more in the calf area. Let's slowly lift the right leg. So holding the leg in line with the body as best you can. The left leg might be struggling a bit now, but stay with it. Let's look between the hands, a big stride forward with the right foot. Join with the left. Fingertips pull back, inhale. A huge exhale, fold. And then, doesn't matter how bent the knees are, feel your back flatten and hinge at the hip. Inhale up to the top. Let's take another one. So chest high, fold at the hip, all the way down. Let the knees bend a bit, flatten the back. Hands down, find a plank. Hold in plank for a moment. When you're ready for an exhale, slightly head and chest first. Then the pelvis goes down. Point the toes. Drag the hands back on the mat. They won't move, but feel them dragging back. Feel the muscles all the way up the spine. Lower back, right up into the upper back, but we're not going to lift the chin too much. And then push hard into the hands. Tuck the toes under and into downward dog. Again, long, slow breaths. Slowly lift the left leg. Try not to let the hip lift. Stretch that knee long and straight on the left side and as straight as you can on the right. Then take the weight forward into the hands. Bring the left foot forward or tiptoe all the way if you can't manage a big stride. Inhale, half lift. That huge exhale, fold. And inhale to the top. Arms overhead. Great. All right, let's take a little powerful pose. So sit down, arms straight. You're sitting in a squat. Maybe get the knees to squeeze together. Reach the arms. Breathe. Exhale, fold. right foot strides back, right knee goes down, tuck your bum under. So use your bottom and lift the chest so you get a lovely arching of the whole body from knee to fingertips. So squeeze the bottom, lift the chest, right fingertips down. Now let's straighten the right knee, find a twisted lunge. Back right leg is absolutely straight, left arm up, and you've turned your chest, but the legs are supporting you. Calm your breathing. Let's put the right hand down now, swizzle onto the outside of the right foot, put your left foot on top of your right, and find your right side plank. Let's take your left arm over, have one good stretch, lift the right waist a little bit higher. Find your plank. Exhale to the mat. Point your toes, squeeze your bottom, draw the shoulders back and down. So you could sort of lift the hands off here. It's the back doing the work. Push into the hands. Tuck the toes under, find your downward dog. Lift the right leg. Take the weight into the hands, so you've sort of got that 3-point plank, and then do your best to get your right foot forward. Doesn't matter if it isn't very far. Join with the left, maybe go a bit further forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And when you're ready, back muscles switch on. Push hard into the feet. Take the arms up and over. And let's do a second one. So knees bend, hips back. Make sure you're fairly close to the front of the mat because you've got a big stride back in a moment. Let's breathe. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Left knee down. Tuck your bottom under, squeeze your bum. Lift the rib cage. Reach your arms up. So you're not feeling a dumping into the back. There's a feeling of rise in the back. Then left fingertips down, left leg becomes straight. So legs are very firm and strong, and you're just turning your chest. So your right arm goes straight up, so it's over the left, and the big pull is in your right bottom. Let's put the left hand down onto the outside of the left foot. Stack the right foot on top of the left. Reach the right arm up and hold. Right arm overhead. Lift the left side. Hands to plank. Chest to the mat. Exhale. Point the toes, squeeze the bottom. Draw the shoulders back and down. Push into the hands. Back into downward dog. And settling the breathing. Slowly lift the left leg. Take the weight into the hands, put the left leg alongside the right. Take the left foot forward, join with the right, fingertips pull back, inhale, a huge exhale, fold, and inhale to the top. Lovely. Okay, let's bring the hands to prayer, and we'll step back with the left foot to take a warrior two. So lean forward, reach that leg back, squat the left knee, foot down. Maybe you make your legs a little bit wider, arms long, open the right knee, look down the right arm. Let's put the left hand behind the back, lift the right heel, sink a bit deeper, keep the left shoulder back, lift the right arm, goddess. Stretch out your right side by lifting the chest, lift the right heel, breathe. Let's put the left heel down, turn the toes in, bend the knees a bit, you're bending at the hip, fingertips down, lengthen the back. Deep breaths. So you're pushing your feet apart, lengthening your back, and then you can try and fold a little bit at the hips. Maybe come back up again. We're concentrating on getting the flat back, pushing the feet apart. Nice, long, slow breaths. All right, let's turn the heels in. Squat a little bit, come up. Let's take our warrior two to the left. So right toes turn in, left foot down the mat, left knee over. And look down the arms, a little bit of tailbone down, drawing back the chin and settling the breathing. Let's slip the right hand behind the back, turn up the left palm, lift the arm, lift the heel, rise high. So heel lifts, reach up, feel a stretch in the left side of your body. So learning to use those muscles to lift the spine. Heel down, turn the toes in, soft knees, bend at the hip, fingertips down again, a long flat back, push the feet apart. So don't worry if your knees are quite bent, you're focusing on getting a really flat back. So if you're in a squat, that's fine. Get your back flat and then you can work on straightening the knees. All right, let's bring the heels in. Put your hands on your knees, take a sumo squat. Open the knees wide, flatten the back so you get that groin stretch. You can move a little bit side to side just to ease into that groin so your pelvis can tilt properly. And then let's tip up, take a cactus. So knees wide, chest up, and breathe. Sink low, come up, and let's step to the top of the mat. Big inhale, chest up, and let's fold forward. Hands down, find a plank. Bend the elbows very, very slowly to lower. Come onto the mat, point the toes, squeeze the bum, find your cobra again. So elbows tuck in, hands drag back, shoulder blades pull down. Let's take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, draw back the shoulders, keep pointing the toes. We're not going to lift the legs, focusing on the upper back. Of course, you'll still use the lower back. And breathe. Let's bring the arms into a sort of parachute, so in your cactus arms. Breathe. And hands under the forehead. Last one, cactus again. So point the toes, squeeze the bum, take the hands behind the back, interlace the hands, lift, not too high, focusing on the upper back. Your lower back will be working hard. Turn the palms out, little finger down. Check that your hand has gone out and not in. Roll the shoulder back and down. Breathe. Hands down. Push enter all fours. Take a moment as your back changes shape. Maybe have a little wriggle around. Drop the hips back. Nice deep breaths. Okay, let's come on to the hands and knees. Let's bring the legs in front. Feet down. Let's lift up. Then round down. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Fingertips touch, elbows wide. The lower back will have a lovely arch now as your knees drop apart. So you can take some big breaths into the belly. Let's keep the elbows wide like that and the fingertips together, but spread the arms now so that the arms are straight. Bring your knees up. Take your knees to the right. Maybe you actively keep the left shoulder down. Put your right hand on the outside of your left knee and just let go. The only active thing here really is, well, your right hand can rest on the outside of the left thigh and your left shoulder stays down, but you're actively keeping that shoulder blade down so that we know we've got the opening in the chest. Let's go to the other side. Right arm out, right hip up, right hand on the outside of the left knee, right shoulder down. Okay, so instead of taking Shavasana, we're going to come up into sitting again, crossing the legs. If you need your block back, that's fine. You might find that after all that work around the pelvis, you can sit more comfortably cross-legged, turn up the palms, draw back the chin, close the eyes. Again, think of lengthening the back of the neck so the chin isn't dropping, isn't lifting, it's drawing into the neck. And then hopefully you'll feel all of your spine switching on. The thighs will pop up. And let's just take a minute just to finish. Breathing into the belly. Okay, let's open the eyes, turn the palms out, inhale, and exhale. Namaste. Thank you. See you tomorrow.